7 signs of a heart attack people always ignore. You know that slight ache you brushed off? What if it wasn't just age, but a whisper from your heart? We're told to watch for crushing chest pain, that seizing arm. But what if the real dangers are quieter? The fatigue you blame on a long day, the indigestion you dismiss as just heartburn. These subtle signals, often ignored, are silent alarms, and understanding them could be the most important discovery of your life. Have you ever felt that profound exhaustion? Not the tired from a good day kind, but a deep, bone-weary fatigue that sleep doesn't touch. Perhaps you said, "Oh, I just didn't sleep well," or "I'm not as young as I used to be." This innocent dismissal is a common trap. Your body, a symphony of intricate systems, gives us signs, but we've learned to interpret them through the lens of convenience or even fear. Think of Mrs. Eleanor Vance, 68, sharp as a tack, always gardening. Lately, she found herself stopping mid-row, gasping, attributing it to a bad back. Her sun hat would grow heavy with sweat. Her hands, usually steady, would tremble ever so slightly as she gripped the trowel. She'd whisper, "Just a bit out of shape," and push through. The ache in her jaw? Dismissed as a loose filling. Research from institutions like Harvard Medical School highlights a critical truth. Heart attack symptoms in older adults, especially women, are often atypical. They aren't always the dramatic Hollywood chest grab. Instead, they can manifest as profound fatigue, shortness of breath, nausea, back pain, or even discomfort in the jaw or neck. This isn't just getting old. It's your body rerouting a warning signal, trying to get your attention through less direct pathways because the usual ones are compromised. This creates a profound internal conflict. The seasoned self, accustomed to enduring, to being strong, clashes with a new, unwelcome vulnerability. Am I weak? Am I just imagining things? What will my children think if I call them for something so trivial? The battle isn't just physical. It's a quiet war waged against self-perception, against the fear of losing independence, of becoming a burden. The heart screams, but the mind, rooted in decades of resilience, insists on silence. So how do we retune this internal dialogue? First, the unusual check-in. Don't just acknowledge fatigue. Ask, is this unusual fatigue different from my normal? Second, the 10-minute rule. If a new, unexplained discomfort, chest, arm, jaw, back, stomach, lasts longer than 10 minutes and doesn't resolve with simple changes like sitting down, take it seriously. Third, the silent alarm list. Familiarize yourself with the silent signs: unexplained sweating, lightheadedness, sudden nausea, intense fatigue without exertion. Finally, record and reflect. Keep a small journal. Note down any persistent or unusual symptoms, even seemingly minor. This can help you see patterns and articulate concerns to a doctor. True strength isn't in ignoring pain, but in the courage to acknowledge vulnerability. It's an act of profound self-respect to listen when your body, your most loyal companion, truly speaks. When was the last time you dismissed a subtle signal from your body? And what story did you tell yourself to make it okay? For decades, the image of a heart attack was predominantly male. The crushing chest pain, the radiating left arm. But here's a startling truth. Women often experience heart attacks differently. And as we age, these differences become even more pronounced. 70% of women experience unusual fatigue before a heart attack. Sarah, 72, had always been the strong one. When she started feeling a gnawing discomfort in her upper back, she blamed it on an old yoga injury. The breathlessness climbing stairs? My asthma acting up. The nausea that made her skip meals? just a sensitive stomach. She never felt the elephant on the chest. Her hands, usually busy knitting, would sometimes clench without her noticing, her jaw subtly tighten. She feared being seen as a hypochondriac, a dramatic old woman. That fear, that self-silencing, is a powerful, silent killer. The American Heart Association consistently emphasizes that women are more likely to experience non-chest pain symptoms. These can include pain in the arm, either arm, not just left, neck, jaw, throat, or back, as well as extreme fatigue, shortness of breath, nausea, vomiting, and lightheadedness. For older adults, especially those with conditions like diabetes, nerve damage can further dull typical pain signals, making silent heart attacks alarmingly common. A 2024 study from the National Library of Medicine indicated 70 to 80% of ischemic events occur without typical chest pain. This disparity creates a double bind. Not only are the symptoms less obvious, but societal narratives often reinforce the idea that women's discomforts are more emotional or hormonal. This internalizes a sense of invalidation, making it harder to advocate for oneself, to insist something is truly wrong even when every fiber of your being feels off. It's the conflict between the quiet alarm bells ringing within and the ingrained habit of self-dismissal. So how do we navigate this? First, know you're atypical. Memorize the non-traditional symptoms: back pain, jaw pain, extreme fatigue, indigestion, nausea without exertion. Second, trust your gut. If something feels off or wrong in a way you can't explain, especially if it's new or persistent, it warrants attention. Third, advocate relentlessly. When speaking to doctors, specifically mention if you suspect a heart issue, even if your symptoms don't fit the textbook description. You can say, "I'm experiencing unusual fatigue and back pain, and I'm concerned about my heart." Finally, emergency first, explanations later. If symptoms are severe or sudden, call emergency services. It's better to be checked than to risk permanent damage. Your body is a unique story. To compare it to another's or to a general blueprint is to deny its individuality. Honor your own internal narrative, for it holds your deepest truths. What old stories or expectations might be stopping you from truly hearing your body's unique language? The mind is a powerful landscape, and in times of stress or fear, it can mimic physical ailments with chilling accuracy. For seniors, distinguishing a panic attack from a true heart attack can feel like walking on a tightrope in the dark. Panic attacks typically peak in about 10 minutes, while heart attack symptoms often worsen or persist. Mr. David Chen, a man known for his calm demeanor, suddenly felt his heart pounding, his chest tightening, a cold sweat breaking out. He was sure this was it. He'd seen the movies. Yet after 15 agonizing minutes, the wave receded, leaving him utterly drained but alive. A panic attack. But the next week, a similar feeling returned, only this time it didn't fade. The terror of confusing the two, the shame of overreacting versus the mortal fear of underreacting, is a silent torment. His hands, gripping the armrests of his chair, were trembling not from cold, but from sheer terror of the unknown. Research from various medical centers, including studies published in the Journal of the American Medical Association, indicates significant overlap in symptoms between panic attacks and heart attacks, such as chest pain, shortness of breath, palpitations, sweating, and dizziness. However, key differences exist. Heart attack pain often radiates and worsens with exertion, while panic attack symptoms tend to peak and subside within 10 to 20 minutes and may be triggered by stress rather than physical activity. Yet the emotional impact is equally real. The body's fight or flight response, designed for survival, can go haywire, creating a physical experience indistinguishable from a true cardiac event without medical assessment. The deepest struggle here is trust. Can I trust my own body? Can I trust my mind? The fear of misinterpretation leads to inaction, or worse, undue stress. It's the mind telling you you're just anxious, don't make a fuss, when your heart is truly in distress. Or conversely, convincing you of impending doom when it's a surge of adrenaline. This self-doubt, this agonizing internal debate, drains precious energy and delays crucial decisions. So what's the solution? First, the context clue. A heart attack often starts or worsens with physical activity. A panic attack can strike at rest. Second, symptom progression.